too much off.
Well, if you're wondering what FreeKeen.com presents, FreeKeen.com presents this video, which is about illegal hair cutting. Jamie is a licensed beautician right here in New Hampshire.
I am.
Who has decided to violate openly the law that says, or the regulation that says, a beautician can only cut hair in a salon or a disabled person's home. And I'm just curious to know why you're willing to risk not only your freedom over this, but also your license. Jamie?
I figured it'd be good to have extra haircuts up here. Look up for me. People need it, and why not? If I can offer a service that people can use right now, why not do it? You know?
Are you familiar with the Mike Fisher case back in 2005 where he gave an illegal manicure?
Yes. I don't know what happened with it. I had heard that happened.
Did that have any, did it play any role in your decision to do this, or?
I've kind of been saying for a while I want to do some sort of act of civil disobedience somehow, and I guess this, my hobby, my job, is doing it, and I'm okay with that. So, and if anybody has a problem with it, oh well, I'm still going to cut it. So.
Yes, what would you do if the authorities cited you?
Hide my stuff. They've already grabbed it once for other reasons, so, I mean, you're really going to get me in trouble or arrest me for cutting someone's hair? Like, come on. I know what I'm doing. Even if I didn't know what I was doing, if somebody was willing to, let that happen, it's up to them. It shouldn't be anybody else's choice what happens with their hair, their body.
In a sense, what you're doing, Mike Fisher was very courageous, but I think what you're doing might actually be a little bit gutsier because he wasn't risking a license, only a few days in jail. Yeah.
No, yeah. Honestly, I haven't thought about, I could lose my license. Hopefully I don't, because I need to be able to go back to work. But I think everything will be okay here. You know what I mean? Everyone's pretty cool. So it should be all right.
They, I think, at least have some understanding of what happens when they come after somebody who's willing to take a stand.
Yeah.
It's happened, a few times, and they've usually gotten burned by it.
Yeah.
Now, you're cutting Shallon's hair, and am I saying that right this time?
Got it.
Shallon, how do you feel about the fact that this haircut is not approved by the government?
Well, I feel very safe that Jamie's going to cut my hair just fine, not endanger my safety or anyone else's for that matter. And I think she's going to do a great job. And I'm actually enjoying it quite nicely sitting beneath the swaying tree.
You never got a chance to get an outdoor haircut before,
exactly.
Probably.
So it's an awesome opportunity taken advantage of.
I guess I should point out a little bit of context here. We're at Porcupine Freedom Festival in Lancaster, New Hampshire. It's an event put on by New Hampshire liberty activists, sometimes also referred to as free staters. There's a lot of folks who have moved to the state in search of more freedom. And I'm actually not sure which of those two young ladies has moved or which of them were already natives. It's easy to lose track. But there is quite a bit of what I guess they call agorism or agorism going on, which means people simply refusing to get licenses for what they're doing and recognizing that they may suffer a penalty for that, but that it's one way to move towards freedom is just to go ahead and pretend like they're free. Anyway, not sure what else to show you. I guess I'm going to kind of wander off and, well, I guess I should show you this. You can never go wrong with the rattlesnake flag. I really don't have a sense yet of what the numbers are here at Porcupine Fest today, but I do have some relatively important information to pass on to you. There's going to be a piece of liberty activism on Wednesday involving Lindsay from Grafton. I don't know her last name, but she's going to be committing an act of civil disobedience sort of at a Lebanon court, I believe, a court, where she's going to try to pay a fine in pennies. And they've been refusing to accept the penalty, or they've been refusing to accept the pennies, and they're going to they're going to try and force her to pay in some other currency. So she's asking for activists. I don't know how. I guess you go to nhfree.com. You can find out more about it. But meanwhile, other news always pops into the view. This is Representative Dan Itza from the New Hampshire State House, and he is maybe someone you've already heard of. He's been in the national media a fair amount in connection with the sovereignty resolutions in the New Hampshire State House. And I'm guessing that you guys have something planned for this coming session. You want to talk about that?
Well, I certainly do. I'm going to reintroduce HCR 6 with the improved language that was at the end of House Bill 1340, whatever it was.
Something that the Democrats are more comfortable with?
No, something I just simply thought was more eloquent.
Oh, I see. Does this bill address any of the Democrats' concerns?
No.
Well, it's better not to try at all than to try halfway, I guess.
I mean,
but they did have some legitimate grievances in the sense that the bill, I guess the timing of the bill was passed after the Bush administration, when it really, ideally, the Bush administration, we should have been reacting earlier, and some people would say.
But I did react earlier.
Yeah, you did. That's
I was co-sponsor of a bill back in 2000, I believe it was 2004. I went back and checked. I was co-sponsor for sovereignty resolution. It wasn't as forcefully worded. It was one of the more simple ones, but
it just didn't get attention when Bush was president.
It didn't get attention, and I also either prime or co-sponsored a bill to repeal the most egregious portions of the Patriot Act. So it wasn't anything new. And when I wrote the bill in July, I didn't know who the presidential candidates were going to be or who was going to win.
Right, you wrote it in July 2007?
2008.
Okay, that's right, yeah, okay. I guess a completely unrelated question. I was actually, as I was running up toward you, I was just finishing shooting a story earlier in the same broadcast about a young lady who's committing civil disobedience down there by openly giving a haircut with, she's got a license, but she's not allowed to do it outside by the law. So how do you feel about that kind of violation of the law?
I think that it is thoroughly appropriate because I believe, as a licensed engineer, I believe that licensing is inappropriate and counterproductive. Our founding fathers would be rolling over in their graves to see people asking permission of the government to practice their profession.
Yes.
Whether it's by requiring licensing or by requiring a Social Security number in order to get a job.
Yep.
You shouldn't be having to ask the government to provide for your family.
All right. Well, Representative Itza, I will let you get back to your food, whether it's licensed or not. And thanks for your time and for your activism in the State House.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Let's see if there's anything else to photograph.
It's not the worst of evil.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I think I'm probably running out of time on my camera here, so I should probably sign off. It's Dave Ridley signing off for freekeene.com. If you like the kind of civil disobedience you see here today, well, it happens on a pretty regular basis in the town of Keene as well. Might be a place you want to consider moving if you're thinking of moving to New Hampshire. freekeene.com.